it's hard to come to the end. The end, but with my friends. What's going on, everybody?
Yay!
I'm Joe Dove,
Hey,
co-host of the Shedding Light Show on Ghost here on To Be Seen, and I am very excited to be joined with my co-host B Money and our extreme special guest from the Sci-Fi Queens, Anita.
Yes, how are you guys doing?
Welcome back. How's it going?
awesome! Now that you're here,
Yay!
It's going pretty well. Thank you very much. Happy to be here.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow. We made it to the season finale. 22 episodes, technically 23 because
yes.
there's a two-parter. So, you know, all
Well,
about
I
that.
think they counted that as 2 parts this time.
Yeah, this time it's 2 parts instead of just 1. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, we got an exciting episode. We're talking the Ghost season finale. The devil went down to Woodstone.
Yeah.
Before we get into all of the fun business, this one was directed by Christine Guernon. And if that doesn't sound like it should be familiar to you, it should be, because she's done a lot of ghosts. So,
Also, a fun fact: one of the other directors is Rebecca Asher, who is the daughter of Elizabeth Montgomery and William Asher. I think it's his name. You know who Elizabeth Montgomery is? Bewitched.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. She directs a lot of shows.
That's cool. All right, well, let's get into it. First glance. All right, the devil went down to Woodstone. Sam and Jay host a big party for the launch of Sam and Isaac's vampire book. Very short and sweet.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's turn it over to our special guest.
Yes.
What is your first initial thoughts on this episode?
Oh, first of all, I'm glad they finished the book. I mean, this book has been going on for months.
Season 2?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yes, like I understand it takes time to, write the book and whatnot, but this is taking a while for a TV show to have a book being written.
Well, they had to
So I'm
find the
glad
book.
that they got that. Yes, and I'm glad that they got it done. I absolutely love this episode overall. It was a really good episode, and it really kind of left you wanting more. Absolutely good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. B Money.
I really, really enjoyed it. I think for this season, it's going to rank up with, some of my top episodes this year.
Really? Top
I
episode?
really enjoyed it of this season.
Oh, wow. I enjoyed it too. That's a 100% fresh. All three of us enjoyed the heck out of it. It had less like sentimental stuff going on,
Right.
unlike some of the other episodes, but there were some surprises, and we're gonna get into that because it's a little bit thick, so we got to get into the thick of it. All right, in the thick of it, let me tell you, this episode starts off, with the return of Patience. There'll be some deviling going on, and of course, they're trying to figure out a way to get Patience out of the way. And it started out with actually Jay and Sam in the car trying to sneakily tell Jay, hey, we have to make up something because we can't take Isaac with us to the actual book premiere, or the book party, the launch party. Yeah, the book launch, because he's a ghost and he can't leave the property. So they're not going to mess around with the whole ghost trap thing again. So they were like, oh, so we'll just say we're going to do something else, and then we'll go to the party, which Pete could go and could ruin that. I thought Pete was going to be the spoiler, and he was, but then come to find out, Bella spoiled the party. I was like, Bella's just like ruining. She's like continuously spoiling.
She's a mess.
Yeah, she's like
she needs to go home.
Tornado. Yeah,
I like her.
I can't do well.
You don't like her?
I can't do well.
I love her.
Not that I don't like her. I just think that she's like this necessary evil, right? Because you need someone to spoil things in order to create plot lines.
Right.
But at the same time, she's spoiling things.
Yeah.
Like,
You got to have some kind of conflict.
Didn't she think that the ghost would be in the house and her not seeing the ghost
Right.
would create this conflict where, what if they're listening and she's spilling the beans?
Okay,
She's
in her defense, she did arrive at Woodstone one time with a gas station nozzle hanging out of her car. So she
That's a defense.
Yeah, I was like, how is that a defense? It's not looking good for her at all.
That she's forgetful all the time because she's a mess.
She is a mess.
Okay, getting into the weeds of just the first part when they were in the car. This is me getting detailed. Sam's hair was short, and then at the party, it was like a lot longer.
Oh, you found continuity issues.
Unless she
so she could have put some extensions in. Girls do this, right? So maybe she just wanted the little longer hair, so she put a bit of an extension in. I don't think that that's a big issue. No. But it could indicate when they started filming, because she does look a little heavier in the car because she did just giving birth. But if you take a look at her in the restaurant, she's a bit thinner than when she looked in the car. So there must have been a recording done really early on of that scene.
Yeah, right after she gave birth.
Yeah.
If you go back to the first season, you can really tell the difference in how she looks, but I don't want to get on her looks. No, but she's pretty anyway.
Yeah.
No, she's beautiful. She was beautiful pregnant, but you could tell she was pregnant. That was the whole thing.
Yeah, they tried to cover it up. You know, I'm surprised they just didn't make it like they had a baby. Because how far are you caught up, B-Money, with the UK version?
No.
Oh, dang it.
I'm just started the second.
You gotta catch up. It's so good, dude. It is so good.
I know. I've liked it. I'm just starting the second season now.
Because there's a plot in the other one that involves children. So,
well, both of the Joes on our show said they are probably not going to add a baby. They were not. Interested in that unless they changed their mind. But that was only like 2 years ago. So
they need to add a baby who can see ghosts.
I don't want a baby.
All right.
They need to add a baby.
I'm not a fan of children.
Well, as this all comes to pass, you know, they end up having to make the book party, the launch party here at Woodstone. So they ended up doing it at the restaurant, and it's a huge success.
The restaurant?
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Oh my Lord, the restaurant.
And now we get all the basement ghosts because Patience comes back from the depths of the dirt. And
I love the basement ghosts.
I mean, Nancy's my favorite.
Yeah, she is my favorite too.
Oh, Nancy, yeah. Oh, definitely.
Just a basement ghost. You know, she's still.
I love her.
Yeah,
she makes everything so funny.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's on point. She really.
You know, early on in the first season, I kind of predicted to myself, but I was thinking there's going to have a love triangle between Pete, Alberta, and Nancy. Because that's the way it was kind of looking, you know, here and there, when he always asked one of them to pretend to be his girlfriend.
Right.
So I kind of thought there was going to be a triangle, but it ended up just Pete and Roberta.
Wow. So then we fast forward a little bit. We got Patience saying she's ready to run amok and get rid of the devil. Patience, yeah. I forgot she still
has evil among us.
Yeah.
I'm like, bitch, that's you.
Yeah, you're the one. You're the one. You just don't realize it. Well, as it would turn out, they find out what a vampire is. She freaks out, and then they try to like get her out of the way. It's unsuccessful because again, Bella comes in of a tornado of hot mess. And ruins it tells they got that weird creature. She calls Kyle because she's so into Kyle because he could see the ghosts.
Yeah.
And so I think for sure in 5th season, Kyle's coming back.
Yeah, I think so because they've mentioned him a lot. And they rarely
they should hook him up with her.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Well, they rarely have a guest who is only in one episode.
That's
a lot
true.
of them either one back to back or, you know, skip her and come back. Like the two horrible lesbians next door. You know, they were in 2 episodes and have been back.
I don't remember them.
With the tree?
Oh, tree. Yes. I forgot about them. Okay, yeah. Because that's where they have the 50s ghost too, right?
Yes, his mother. No, they didn't have it in that episode. They were the only 2 extra people in that episode, I think.
No, that's the Farnsbys. They have the 50s ghost.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah, but you haven't seen her since, but yeah. So yeah, she screws it up. Patience goes back, and then she goes, "You will feel my wrath," and makes the blood on the walls. And they were like, "Wow, that's cool!" And then like kind of play along with it. So
I thought they were going to have her spell out something because they did that in the Sam's dad episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sinner.
Yes.
I don't know how she could do that, but she did it.
Yeah. So they had just regular blood, and they thought it was cool. So that made it all come into fruition.
That was great, though. I love that.
It was.
Yeah, perfect for the book.
Yeah.
And I love how, you know, Jake just always backs Sam's up so immediately.
Yeah.
So immediately. He just stepped in.
Yeah. I was going to say, and even before he knew the ghost, he always was with her, no matter how crazy.
Yeah. He's a good husband. He's he's a good dude. Good dude. Yeah, so then we got the basement ghost coming out, and it's like, she's coming. And they're all like talking. We get all of the basement ghosts out of the basement this time, even some we haven't seen for a long time.
Yeah.
And it seems like there was really not much of a B plot here. It's just everything revolved around the one plot.
There was so much in that one plot.
Well, they sort of did, which was
Alberta
and
we got the big moment when
Alberta and Hetty were not in the restaurant.
Yeah, yeah, there it is. The Pete Alberta moment finally happened. I gotta give it to Pete. He's not like an 80s guy. He's like, every flavor is amongst the tastes, you know.
Yes.
Remember what Carol said, that he may be a nerd, but he brings it in the bed.
Oh yeah, that's right. Which is why she wasn't there. Isaac was not Isaac.
The revolutionary ghost.
Yeah, they were there.
The shed ghost.
Nigel,
and the shed ghost.
Yeah.
No, they had the two, the other two revolutionary. One was with.
That's
they were standing in the back, and the other one, I forget where he was standing, but they both were there.
But it was Isaac that wasn't there, right?
No,
which I can understand. Not Isaac, Nigel. But I can understand why Nigel wouldn't be there, because this is Isaac's moment, and they're not exactly in good terms.
Yeah.
Plus, he felt bad.
How can you be mad if you're a ghost? Like, that's an eternity of anger, right there.
Yeah.
Like, that's some serious anger that you have to exude.
They kind of made up in the parachute episode.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was going to say, but that's okay.
Sci-fi has that effect on people.
It's you. You have that effect on me.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So then we got the big kiss. It finally happened. Pete came back to tell Alberta that he's done with the other chick, and she's the one. So when they kissed, were you expecting Pete to be sucked off, or one of them to be
her?
Yes.
She's never had a relationship that was really, a romantic caring about her. It's always been with mobsters and gangsters who probably back then probably didn't have that many significant others, only.
Yeah.
But, she's probably one of the very top popular ghosts, so she ain't going anywhere.
No, they're not going to do that.
I thought they would. I thought they were going to suck her up. Absolutely. I said, they're going to make her go away.
They don't want to mess with the success, because they don't fix it if it ain't broken.
And they need her. She is such a pivotal ghost among them. Like,
have you heard
her really contributes.
Have you heard her speak in real life off the set? It's nothing like Alberta.
Really?
Yes. Just compare it. Listen to her in one of the behind
slightly
scenes.
Different. Yeah.
Yeah. She's really good to do that, where you can't really tell.
Her name is Daniela, right?
Pinnock.
She does not have that Southern kind of Chicago Southern. I don't know how to explain it, but she doesn't have that voice that she has on the show. It is a very different voice, very clear, very matter of fact kind of voice. I mean, she's fantastic. I absolutely love her. And she models the most exquisite outfits, like girlfriend.
Yeah. And the outfits she wears in real life to go to those big functions, I know she hired a stylist and all that because she made videos about that. Yeah. And they really put her in flattering clothes, and she just is beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. They did a fantastic
behind the scenes, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, I'm about to drop something here in a second, which will. I'm just waiting for the right moment because we've got. I can't skip forward because it's not my video, but I'm going to share this with you guys.
Okay.
There we go.
Last week, who killed Alberta? Well,
So this is an old.
It turns out that Hetty knew the killer all
Second season.
Second season,
in
yeah.
tonight's season 2 finale, Alberta confronts Hetty for keeping this massive secret.
I just want to hear her voice, so we can all get in on the.
In summation, for 100 years, Hetty's been pretending to be my friend, withholding the truth about how I died. This was a century of betrayal. And I hope this court remembers that when it comes time to sentence her.
Hetty, do you deny these charges? I do not. But I ask that the court consider the following. The Hetty of 100 years ago stayed silent for many reasons. But the Hetty that stands before you today did not.
All right, I'm just so curious to hear her voice.
It's so great to have you.
Looking like a flower.
Oh my gosh.
Welcome, welcome. The best way to celebrate my birthday.
Oh, wow.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday.
What birthday is it? Do you want to say? Oh, yeah, 35.
Oh, she's younger than me. Yeah, look at that.
And I'm just really grateful because I've always wanted to be on this show. And Miss Gail, I just got to tell you, there's a constellation of Black women who have inspired me in my artistic journey. You are one of them.
Oh, wow.
So
Big difference. Big difference.
Big difference, yeah.
You see how different she is?
Yeah, that's awesome. Good call.
One thing I wanted to say before I forget is we were talking about the kiss,
Yes.
and she said she complimented him somehow, and he said it was from all those years of playing the oboe.
Yes, I love that line.
Because he said that in the Alberta's Descendant episode where she says, I played the oboe, and she's like, cool. Now it is really cool.
It is cool. Yeah. Look at that. See, that's the other thing I love about the show is there'll be throwaway lines. Like I was saying it a couple of episodes ago. I don't know if you were on with us, but when Cosmic Mom, you know who that is, thankfully. When Cosmic Mom was in the hospital, very ill, I started playing. Oh, that's my mother.
Okay.
Yeah. For those that aren't in on the joke,
I mean, really, guys, she's famous.
When she was very ill and in the hospital, I played the first season of Ghosts. And there was I think it was the first episode where he is like, oh yeah, my wife and we only had one really bad argument. And I can't remember what the argument was about. Then he later on he goes, donut holes. I remember now, it was the donut holes. And later on she dies.
Of the donut holes, yes.
Wow, how amazing is this, like, structured? I love
the continuity in their writing, because they go back to the things that were said, even in just that little passing moment, and they create these storylines around it, because that was a 2-second line, and they created an entire episode around it. That's pretty fantastic work.
I told Joe this before, speaking of continuity. In the episode where Bela's boyfriend can see pretends to see the ghost.
Oh,
if you look at Trevor, his hair changes like 3 or 4 times in that episode. One of his just looks like it's blow dried, and then one looks like he has some product in it, and then I forget, it was like an in between shot. So if you look at that, and there's one scene where Jay is speaking, and Trevor and a few others kind of in the background where you can see him, and Trevor is looking like this to Jay, like he's in love, and then they shoot to his close-up, and it's not even close to what he was facially. I just think it's hilarious.
Yeah, there's so much in depth in what goes on in this show. Of course,
now I look for that.
Yeah,
But now in this episode, I mean, what are you guys thinking of Hetty's ex-husband showing up?
Oh yeah, that's great timing. I was just going to segue into now.
What is happening with this fool? He can be seen by humans. He can pretend to be alive.
Yeah, he's a demon. That's how his demon power now. Instead of like he had a ghost power where he would make people
horny.
Yeah, but now as a demon power, he can be a human and mess with people. So he owns Jay's soul now. And
they never read the fine print on contracts, like Trevor pointed out, because when the cult came there, he signed a contract. It didn't look at the fine print there.
Yeah, it's like, Jay, my man, read the fine print. Yeah,
For real.
yeah. So I'm assuming that our 5th season is going to be about getting Jay out of this curse.
Yeah.
I mean, how are they going to do that? That is some serious contract right there. And
Yeah.
I mean, anybody who's seen any kind of show or movie where that fantasy of your soul is being sold to the devil, there's almost a no loophole out of that. So I'm really curious to see how they're going to remove this from him, unless I'm thinking that maybe the contract is null and void because something happens to Hetty's ex-husband. I forget his name.
Elias.
Elias. And he loses his ability to do this. I don't know.
They could do have a basement ghost sucked off because they're just a basement ghost.
Oh, that's rude. Just because they died of dysentery, they go to hell? Oh, that's so rude.
Well, that's what Pete said in that episode.
Yeah, he did. He did.
That's so sad.
In the very first episode of the 3rd season, we didn't know who was sucked off, and Pete said, maybe it's just a business ghost.
Ghost. I know, that was
so rude. Nancy was right behind.
Yeah.
Just a basement ghost.
Just a basement ghost.
And you do that really well.
Thank you. Yeah, for sure there is going to be a hell to pay because he can come after Jay at any moment. He also made it clear that, oh no, I don't mean it could be far from now, but it could be right soon. And then like the chandelier fell, so he's going to be messing with them. So I think he's going to be more reoccurring next season as well.
Most likely. And then you have the contractor Mark over there. I can get you a quote.
I quote you for that.
I'm like, dude, you installed it, and you're a partner. And he's a half.
Yes.
Partner.
Yeah.
I was like, he's gonna give him a quote, and then I said, "Wait, could I be wrong? But isn't this fool a partner?"
Yeah.
Yes, and his company installed the chandelier.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I understand why they did that because that was kind of a funny line to tack on to that.
Yes. Yeah. And it really wasn't his fault that the chandelier fell.
Right.
But
at the same comedy, I was gonna say a lot of sitcoms when they do comedy and something serious like that or semi-serious, they don't want to end the scene on that because it's a comedy. They usually put another funny line to cap off that particular scene.
Well, not only that, it's the whole. That's his first nature, is like he makes bad deals himself and always screws people over, like Elias. So I think there was a connection that we were.
But there was a painting of Elias that looked like that actor. Remember?
Yeah.
So I was wondering, why didn't Jay kind of recognize him? But, if you're not thinking of someone you don't really see very often, I can see it.
Yeah, because she made him like move.
Oh, right? Wait, but what if everyone else can see him as Elias except for the living that can't see ghosts?
Oh.
And he appears as something else, and they haven't quite revealed that yet.
Oh,
that's a good point. Didn't even think about that. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool. Man, the layers on Elias. Yeah,
they just need to have us write some episodes.
For real, right?
Yeah.
Give them ideas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I would have put a long time ago, the minute they can't have the box, I would have put the Puritan in the box.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Make her God. Make her touch it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this needs prayers, lay hands on it, and keep her in there because she's a hot mess.
She is.
Yes.
Yeah. She's worse than Elias.
Yeah.
Because at least you know what he's doing and you know what he's about. But she is so judgmental.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I just think that's worse. She's a Puritan. I'm sorry, but they need to go.
So my other thing is that the next season, since we're bridging, I think we're going to see some of these others that are out in the dirt.
Yes, I was hoping we would in this episode.
Yeah, what are we thinking that those might be? Are they just more Puritans, or?
I don't think they necessarily would be Puritans. I think that I'm telling you, I don't think it's going to be Puritan.
She goes over to the Farnsby's, and they have a gay Puritan in there. So maybe she knows him. I don't know.
Oh,
she can't leave the property though.
No, she can't leave the property.
Yeah,
but she still might have known him in the life, and maybe Pete can be like, oh, I met another Puritan and he's this. And she would like, I know him. And this conversation could happen, right? And maybe in life she liked him. And maybe somebody could change her ways and put a little sin in her life.
Yeah, she got kicked out
of the settlement. Right. She got kicked out because she was too pious.
Yeah.
How can you be too pious? That's sick.
That's levels of
that's levels of pious that no one should have. Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna. This was so good.
Yeah.
I think they should make her sin in next season. Have her commit a sin that changes her ways.
I don't think
because it opens her eyes.
Yes.
What are you gonna say?
I wanted to put on it was kind of like a throwaway line, but not really, but I thought it was funny when Jay says, but I'm in good shape. And Thor says, well, now he's probably mostly Sonic.
Mostly Sonic, that's right.
It's mostly Sonic, yes.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
I laughed at that line out loud.
I love that line.
Mm-hmm.
But Thor has the best lines. And he doesn't say like these whole big paragraphs, you know, he's not the speaker.
Short and sweet.
Because he can't.
Yes.
Because he's, you know, old and big dumb.
Yes. And he's like, but he says truth. That's the funny thing, is that nothing he says is really untrue. They're just kind of cruel, you know?
Mostly so.
I loved him when they had the party for Alberta. She threw it for herself. And he was kind of really different because he was acting like a kid kind of. And I thought that was endearing because he has a lot of endearing qualities about him, even though he's murdered thousands of people.
Yeah.
You know, he has that silly side of him that he doesn't know is silly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's how this pretty much ended. Patience seems like she's going to stick around a little bit longer herself.
Yeah.
Patience.
But did you guys hear at the end when Jake goes, I can't, I'm afraid to use
I can't live like this.
I can't live like this.
He's
afraid to use the toaster because he's afraid to get electrocuted.
Yeah.
I was rolling. That was so funny.
Yeah.
And I hope they pick up right there. Like right there of
you like no time lapse? You want to go right?
No time lapse. Yeah. I want them to pick up, even if they do like a little bit of a time lapse, pick up there, have her come in, make the toast, look at him like, yeah, I kind of like this either.
Yeah, they could do it just casually over breakfast, you know, and then he could make a comment about it or something.
Yeah. Well, now that
because he's a chef, he's going to be using lots of tools that could potentially analyze him.
Yeah. But now that Elias is pretty much out there, there's no holding him back. There's nothing really to keep him away from like messing with Jay or just hanging around the house. So
I also liked when Bela asked him where he lived in New York, and he says Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah,
I love that.
And he went. It's a
but
little.
Could the ghost box work on him?
Oh,
yeah, because it wouldn't work on Pete. They theorized,
and it did.
Yeah, right? Pete was in there.
Yeah, but they never tried to cross the boundary line with him there.
No. But like Pete didn't realize he had that power at that time.
Right. Oh, that's true.
So yeah,
but I'm thinking use the ghost box on him. You don't have to leave the property line because he may leave the box, but just put him where you found them in the basement. In that,
that's what I was saying. Throw him in the basement. Yeah,
in the box.
But now that he is a demon and he knows about his status as a demon, maybe he can go through the floor when they open up the portal.
No, I think that would be kind of cool. Like he gets.
Oh, I want him that way. Yeah.
Like somehow they trick him to go in there, and then that body stuck in there. So it's like just don't open the door.
That would be cool.
Exactly.
Yeah, like it's one of those things. You know, do not open until doomsday type of thing.
I still laugh at the line when they first found it, at Halloween episode where Flower locks. I can't. Sam. Sorry. When she closes the door and then they can't open it because the handle is made from a different material than the bolt was, and then Flower says, "I'll go get help. I'll get Sam. She can help." I'm like,
"Oh yeah."
And Roberta says, "You know, it's amazing she lived this long."
Yeah.
Exactly. But you know what I never understood? Maybe you guys can explain it. When he was in that basement behind that door and nobody knew he was in there, why couldn't he was a ghost at the time? Why couldn't he go through the door?
No, it was made
Only the handle.
Yeah, there
Only
was a
the
special
handle.
made. Yeah, there's a special making through that.
Everything else is they can't touch.
Yeah, they can't go through it.
Right.
Yeah,
Because he would have gotten out a long time ago.
Right.
He became the ghost.
So he couldn't get out because
of the handle.
Yeah, no,
the
because
handle.
when he had it built, they made it from some kind of material that was impervious to ghost, except for the handle. That's why when Flower shut the door, Alberta couldn't open it. So Flower went to get Sam, who she locked in.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well,
Got it.
Well, let's talk about the last bits, the wrap.
Yes.
All right. Well, we've speculated on what can happen. We've talked about the little intricacies that happened in the episode, but now we're on the part where how it ended. Now, do you feel like the book was a success? The book launch was a success?
I do.
Agreed.
Yeah. Okay.
And Jay got, whether or not the demon was involved, he did get some notice on his restaurant.
Until that contract's void, that all is, happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even if they void the contract, he's now recognized.
Yeah, that's true.
True.
It's out there. You can't take it back. No Gitsy Batsies.
Yeah. Were we gonna
I don't know
say
what the extent of his powers are. Could he erase their memory of it? Or people have read it? Or make it like it never existed? I know that's probably getting too sci-fi.
Yeah, that's getting Star Trek-y at that point. That's good.
That's a Calvin timeline level Star Trek.
Yeah.
I mean, wormhole, sipping in, getting into another dimension.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. But I mean, we didn't get any little scene after the big finale this season finale.
Yeah.
And it didn't end on a cliffhanger. I mean, it's sort of like a cliffhanger, but it's not like, oh God, what's gonna happen? It's oh man, what could happen now? It's an interesting way.
Yeah, exactly. We know what the next topic is going to be.
Yeah.
But we just don't know how they're going to go about it, which is where I think the cliffhanger part of it is.
Yeah. I don't remember the first season what the cliffhanger is, but the second season when somebody got sucked off, they didn't know who it was. And then in the third season, what was the hangover there? Or the hangover? The
cliffhanger.
Yeah, what was that in the third season? The short season.
Was that the one where oh wow, I can't believe I can't remember either.
Let me look. I can just by the episode, I should be able to get it in my head.
Is it riveting?
I know.
Riveting. Isaac's wedding. That's what it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Isaac's wedding.
Oh, he got pulled through. The patient pulled him through.
Yeah.
And when she did that, that was a different voice than the actress playing Patience.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's two different because they didn't cast Patience at that time. It was just whomever was there. Hey, you eat before you finish that donut. You want to be Patience real quick?
Can you imagine? I'll be like,
yes, sign me up. Let's go.
Let's go. It's a day's pay. Hey.
I wonder. This is a little going off into the real world. They film it in Canada. And if the president puts those tariffs on movie and TV stuff, they would have to move the entire set because they built a set of the front of the house and the car that when a lot of times now when you see them in front of the house, they're not in front of the house. They're still in the studio.
Yeah. So would that interfere with them filming the next season?
Right. Would they have?
No, were they filming season?
No, they don't start until like June or July.
Oh.
Because it takes longer.
So
most TV shows start in August to start filming, but this one starts earlier because of the special effects.
Yeah. Oh man, can you imagine we don't get another season of Ghost because of tariffs?
I forget how much it would cost.
Nita, what do you think?
But it's like
your favorite president.
I will punch you in the neck right now.
No.
Ice Cube says it best.
Yeah.
That's the president.
You're right, exactly.
That's all I gotta say.
34 counts of criminality anyway.
Yes.
I mean, when your political stance stop something as silly as a TV show from happening because you gotta impose tariff on islands where only penguins live.
Yeah.
Your level of intelligence needs to come into question.
One of the reasons he probably is doing this on film or TV is because he still is pissed off that he never won an Emmy Award. He does that all the time when they start talking about Hollywood. You know, the Emmys are rigged because he didn't win for, you know, The Apprentice as best host. And it's still he brings it up in conversation. He's a narcissist.
They have to reamp the qualifications for presidency, and stupidity being you can't be a stupid person has to be out there.
See the test on camera that he has to take because he said he aced it. You know,
woman, TV, camera.
Yes, exactly. Like, no, this will be very, very, very just embarrassing for us as a country if we can't get a TV show done because of something that does nothing but hurt Americans.
Well, on the plus side,
it on other people, but it hurts us because we pay for those tariffs. They don't.
Yeah,
we do because they have to now raise their prices to accommodate that.
They gaslight
hurting us.
Yeah, they gaslight the followers into thinking that, you know, he's got a big plan. He's playing chess while we're playing checkers, you know.
Meanwhile, he doesn't
exactly.
But the good part about that, or the positive, is Ghost is either their second or third most popular series on the TV network. And that's the important part because that's where the sponsors, you know, play a big role. So I don't think, and it's one of the highest rated ones on Paramount Plus too.
Yeah, it's true. And not for nothing, but the president can't play Candyland. Okay, let's just never mind any other kid.
I've always been obsessed with TV ratings. I mean, as I'm growing up, because I love TV.
Well, TV ratings were big when you and I were growing up watching TV because it determined what was coming back. It really wasn't about popularity of the show. It was about the ratings that they were getting. How many actual viewers were watching when that show went on the air?
And
that was a big thing. The Nielsen ratings, that's huge. That is huge for TV.
Well, if you look at the ratings, I still look at some of them, you know, when people post them, or I go through and I know where they're all at actually in the TV Guide website. A really top rated show was getting like 39 million viewers a week. And now like Ghost, it gets like 3 million.
Wow.
Yeah, because of streaming. And then at the end, they add streaming together based on their criteria. Like the first 3 watches is part of that counted as, you know, three viewing. So it's a little different now with the streaming. They're never going to get a 39 million.
Well, I mean the football and whatnot.
That's about it. The Super Bowl.
Yeah, probably the basketball finals and stuff.
Is them? Yeah, mostly the sports star. But anything that could be streamed and is on network TV, you know, it's a little different.
Agreed.
Calculating the ratings.
But I'm sure that they could figure out a formula to understand how many people are watching it.
Oh, they do. They do it now. With they still have the Nielsen ratings for the on-air broadcast on CBS, and then they track through their website how many people watches whatever's on Paramount Plus. And for network TV, that shows that are on network TV, they probably separate their viewing from the rest of all else that's on Paramount Plus.
Wow.
Because if it's on the network, that's the most important place. Because that's where all the advertisers do. Yeah. Plus, for the cast, that's a good thing. Because when you're on a network TV show, remember they got that huge, massive raise. If you're just a streaming one and not like Meryl Streep or somebody like that, just a basement goes. You get paid almost so little, from what I understand.
Because you're a basement ghost.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's so sad though, because they put their heart and soul into that stuff.
Plus, the actors will get paid residuals for the reruns, where on streaming they don't usually get it anymore.
No.
Well, that's not
Some
true
of them
because
do.
with the new contract, they negotiated streaming rights for them.
But what it is
it's not the same. It's not the same.
Right.
Less.
It's right, because if a show, that's why Paramount canceled Discovery and Lower Decks, because if they do 5 seasons or beyond, the residuals
Yes.
Ooh,
And
yeah.
higher.
Anytime it goes 5 or below, there's no residual.
And
That
a
was
lot
the
of times for syndication, that's when the money really comes in. Like
That's
you get a
100
show that would be, Monday through Friday at 5 o'clock rerun, and they get paid that all the time for that amount of money, whatever they negotiated in their contract with CBS.
The
So
points
yeah,
in
they
the
get
back
all
end.
reruns. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there it is. We've learned about reruns. We've learned about ghosts. We've learned about humans.
All kinds of useless information about TV and movies in my head.
We know about ratings. It is all here on the Shedding
But no, it's not useless, because if you want your favorite shows to continue, you now know what you need to do to influence those ratings.
As a kid,
to educate you.
I love that stuff so much. I pretended I had my own network, and I would have I would do the different
Most kids
networks
play Dr. House. He's over there. I'm the network executive.
I should have been, got into that area.
Yeah, should have missed opportunity. Nita, thank you so much for coming back for the season finale. It is such a delight.
Oh, anytime. I want to be back when it comes back again the next season. I'm inviting myself.
Yeah, okay, great. So
open invitation.
Yeah, open invitation. And we're going to be doing over the summer, if time allows, we're open invitation. We're going to be doing some of the UK ghosts.
Yes, because I've seen the whole thing.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm down with that. I love it.
Amazing.
I'm gonna binge it and get through it because there's not that many episodes.
Yeah. So we'll be back next week with the UK ghosts, and then we're going to be out for 2 weeks for June because I'll be Trek Long Island, and then Nita will be there. And,
I'll be there Sunday.
Yeah, and then I will be back the following. We'll be back the following week.
And I'll be here all by myself on my porch where you guys are all doing
You'll be sipping sweet tea and you'll be having a barbecue while we're up there sweating in the heat over here. All right, let everybody know where they can find you, even though your stuff is in the show notes. So if you want to go,
yes, you can find us on all social media sites under Sci-Fi Queens, and on YouTube as well, and Spotify. And our next episode will be May 16th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. It's going to be a special episode. It's going to be called What's Next in Sci-Fi with Tiffany. Tiffany brings us what's next in TV and movie sci-fi, anime, action, anything science fiction. She's going to let you know what's happening, when it's out, what movies are coming out. It's a full episode on basically our sci-fi TV guide. That is who she is, and she's going to give us all the information. So definitely join us on May 16th.
I would get along well with her, I think.
Yeah, I think
yes.
Do you cover which is your most popular shows that you've covered?
We do everything science fiction. TV, movies, book reviews, podcasts. We cover it all. Definitely. So yeah, we definitely cover everything out there that's science fiction. Different topics. Last night we did sci-fi moms, and we talked all about the sci-fi moms out there.
Was Maureen from Lost in Space there?
No, but I forgot about her.
That's my very favorite
I'm so sorry.
Growing up.
I'm so sorry. I did want to include her, and I totally forgot. But we did have a ton of them on there. Yeah, excellent. Yeah.
She's still in good health. Anne, who played her daughter, was on Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
And yes, she tells Billy Mooney, who played Will on Lost in Space, they have a phone call every year on her birthday. So, and he reports on his website or his social media how she's doing.
Oh,
yeah. But B Money, I'm going to be reaching out to you once me and my co-hosts have our meeting to create new shows, because we'll be inviting you on. Joe knows it's a lot of fun. He's been there because we have a good time. So I'm going to be reaching out to you pretty soon about having you come on and join the Sci-Fi Queens.
Well, that'd be fun. Thank you. Because I'm planning on getting a different podcast for myself covering that kind of stuff.
Excellent.
Yeah, just don't put it on Fridays at 9. That's all. There's 2 of us already.
Can you really not join us at 9?
Yeah,
really?
They always
maybe
put
someday.
The sci-fi shows there. The audience is out.
Yeah,
on Saturday and Fridays. It makes
Do
no
a Saturday
sense.
show. Saturdays
Yeah.
would be money.
Saturdays and Fridays. Yeah, that just made me.
Sunday would be money.
There you go.
That's what it is.
Money Sunday.
Sunday would be money Sunday.
Yeah.
We're gonna come up with a bunch of names for your show.
He's like, I'm good. I have it now. All right. So
I
we'll
need
see
you
you.
with Tired Trucker.
There you go.
Ah, yes, I like
Yeah.
that one.
All right. So be sure to come back and be sure to like, share, and
Yes.
subscribe. We appreciate it. And it
Awesome.
helps us greatly if you do those things. Comment below, share with your friends, and of course, subscribe. Those are wondrous and most important for our growth and to return when we are back shedding light on ghosts.
Yeah.
Be Money, take it away.
I want everyone to have a hauntingly good day and weekend.